Yo, welcome back to another episode of On Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode we're joined by current professional hockey goaltender Trevor Martin. Trevor most recently played in the Federal Prospects Hockey League with the Delaware Thunder, as well as the Southern Professional Hockey League with the Macon Mayhem. But before he started his pro journey, he played college hockey at U Sports for 5 years, as well as going to play junior hockey the years before, playing the WHL, the QMJHL, the BCHL, the SJHL, and the AJHL. So we're definitely going to dive into a lot of those different leagues and everything. And Trevor, I'm very excited to get you on. So welcome to the show, Trevor Martin.
Thank you. Yeah, what a suitcase rattling off all those. That's funny. Yeah, good to be on, and it'll be fun to kind of discuss everything. Like you said, I've been been to a lot of places, so yeah, let's roll.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely I definitely saw a lot of cool places and everything in juniors and throughout U sports and college hockey, and then in the pros too. So like I like to start off generally with giving like a little background information on yourself. So you're from Alberta. So like what was it like growing up in Alberta and going from youth hockey all the way up to junior hockey?
Um, I think yeah, like from Alberta, so it was pretty cold most of the time in the winter, so kind of struggling through that. But I started pretty much, I would say, in Bantam. It's when you start in, from Ardrossan, but it's kind of a smaller town. So then you end up going to Sherwood Park, and that's where you kind of can play Bantam triple, midget triple, and then from there going to junior. Had a little experience with the local team in Sherwood Park. It was the Sherwood Park Crusaders. Tim Fraggle was the coach, really good guy. So just kind of getting to experience that at 15 years old, I think it's kind of cool to see, what you really need to do to get there. Um, and yeah, I think moving up, it was, I mean, it wasn't easy. It was a lot of hard work. Getting cut from Spokane 16, 17 in junior too. So I think just looking back, like the time to develop and actually playing that 17-year-old in midget, or U18 or whatever they call it now. It's different in Canada now, but yeah, it's I think that was a big thing. Just you're a goalie too, and all the listeners know it's a long process, and I think just getting that time to develop really helps, and just hey, you get to meet new people and get to go to different places.
Yeah, it's definitely a grind, but it beats like just going up through the ranks. Like it beats any office job that you can get, and just to be able to have those different life experiences through the sport and everything. Like there's really nothing better, and like you just learn from every single experience that you go through.
Mhm. No, yeah, exactly. I think there's always something that you can take and learn. I think there's always going to be a lot of new challenges, no matter what you do. So yeah, just like you said, just learning from everything and making sure that you kind of correct those mistakes. That's really the biggest thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But what got you into being a goaltender and playing the game of hockey? Like how old were you?
Oh, I would have been. I mean, yeah, I was pretty young. I have an older brother. He's 2 years older. He just got married last Saturday here, so
There we
he was
go.
a big, yeah, he was a big part in kind of me wanting to be a goalie. He was a goalie, so I got all the hand-me-downs and everything that he had. Um, anytime we were to do any type of hockey activity, he would always shoot on me and then in the garage. So that was kind of just my role, and I always just found the gear to be really fascinating.
Yeah.
I just remember, yeah, just I mean, it just looks cool. That's I think that's a big thing why guys like it too. I know Patrick Waugh talked about the same thing. Just kind of really creating that unique style. I mean, it's a team sport, but yeah, I mean, every year you're an individual in your own. Like there's only those two goalies, so I think that side of it always kind of interests me, and it's kept me going for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. And we're like the only position that you can actually like customize your gear to whatever you want, like team
Mhm.
colors, whatever. Like you want if you want it, like you can customize it and then get it made just for you.
Yeah, no, I remember the my first custom set. I mean, I think it's something every every goalie remembers. It's pretty fun. I got it with when I was the Spokane Chiefs when I was 15, and just it was was it the Reebok Premiers, the ones that like the P4s. I'm Carey Price had
Low blast from the past.
yeah, it was exciting. I was going over it with my dad and my brother, just customizing I got custom sticks, pads, glove blocker. I think they sent me a pair of pants too, but it was a lot for a 15-year-old to go through all this. I think it created some of the most anxiety ever because I wanted to make sure that everything looked as cool as possible. So it's kind of funny looking back how like stressed out I was picking the gear. It's funny.
Yeah, but when you get it, it's like Christmas and in the middle of summer, whenever you get it, like it's the best feeling ever. And it's like you're on Christmas opening up the presents when you're younger.
Yeah, it's no, yeah, that feels, and you just want to put it on as quick as you can, really. It's
Yeah.
you want to keep it nice and clean, and then after a while, you're like, there's enough puck marks. I don't care anymore. Just get it dirty.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also sometimes very difficult to break those new gear, new pads, new gear in just because like it sucks putting on or it sucks being on the ice with them and trying to get used to it. But like just you have a clean slate and then you're just gonna get it
hmm
dirty.
So I always liked new gear, like fresh out. I like them a little bit stiffer. So I remember before playoffs started when I was in Red Deer, I got my new set and I had 3 practices and then I used them in game one. And yeah, we won the series and won the game one and yeah, won the series against Calgary. But I've just always liked more like stiff, so I never mind. I think I would imagine probably skates are the worst to break in
Yeah.
mid-season or do whatever. It's just that's kind of difficult, but yeah, I always liked I try to get like a new if I could try to get something new for every game, like try something new. So just to keep things like keep it fresh, keep it light, so you're not kind of overthinking too many things. Just let's try this out and go from there.
Yeah, just try whatever you can because like even when like new goalies like come in and get new gear, like we all just are amazed at the gear. So we'll look at our goalie partner's gear, whoever we're training with, even if it's not even our own gear.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You're always trying to find certain things that other guys are doing and yeah, you're just constantly a student of the game and of the gear. You always want something a little bit
Exactly.
different and try something new. I actually just tried out the new hyperlights and just the changes they made to them. I'm like, this is so much better. And the year before, I was like, oh, this is so it's crazy. Every year they always find to make something a little bit better. So okay. Kudos to
Yeah.
the gear guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. How'd the hyperlights feel?
They're nice. I have the mocks right now. So I mean I I I like the new setup. The strapping's nice. I don't necessarily like the Hyperlight spec because it's just a little bit too thin.
Yeah.
So I mean I like the design, but I would just get like the mock inside or whatever it is, the core, just a little bit more stiff. So and then yeah, the glove was really nice. I believe the 590 break. So I got the 600 right now, but yeah, I think I go back and forth, just whatever I get. I
Yeah.
don't really care, but I prefer the 590 if I have a choice, and like that 1X stock blocker. That's if you can get that, that's always a go. Just basically like a true blocker or whatever they are.
Yeah.
What gear do you got?
Absolutely. I have true 12.2s right now
Okay.
from one of my buddies, so I'm planning on getting a new set
Mm,
hopefully soon here, like the new true Catalyst PX, not PX3 or whatever, PX9, whatever brand they're on now. But yeah, I'm
yeah, whatever one it is.
repping the true. It's got the true skates, and
Nice.
then I
Yeah.
got a Bauer Supreme Chesty,
Okay.
and no complaints about any of that, especially the true skates
Mm.
or the true gear.
Oh, I just got I got True Skates this year, the one piece. I always wanted to try them. It's definitely it was a little bit heavier than like the older skates that I had, so it was a bit of a get used to, but I mean it's so comfortable in my like my foot in there. It's real nice. And then yeah, same thing. I got I believe it's a Hyperlight body and then it's Supreme or Mock arms. So
There
the
we go.
different mod there, it's that's they're really good chest. They're they're doing a good job.
Yeah, for sure. And like going back to like breaking in skates, like I usually hate breaking in skates, but the true skates, like I had no problem with. Like it was just like a glove right
Mhm.
away, and I was able to just be perfectly fine. Like I've worn it 100 other
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, no, that definitely I mean, it was a little bit tough for me to get into with trues are a little bit tougher just to put your foot in, but
Yeah,
once you get that down, yeah, like when it's in there, it fits like a glove. So I got true skates my first year at Waterloo, but they were the ones that pitched you forward,
yeah,
and I felt like I was like falling over, so I didn't really like them and just went back to Bauer. But no, these ones are good. I'd
yeah,
probably stick with them for a while.
yeah. Just the technology gets better and better every year to get the product better than it was the year before.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, for real. But
Yeah.
like what was like your first moment that you were like in youth hockey that you're like, this is what I want to do?
I would say probably playing like spring hockey. So yeah, we you go through the season. It's usually over in like February, and then spring hockey start up. So I was playing for the NAA Snipers, just a team in Sherpa, and you just play tournaments, and it was pretty fun. Like you kind of usually you're stuck with certain teammates in your area,
Yeah,
but this you can kind of draw from wherever. So met a lot of cool people there, and yeah, families. We just go on trips. We went to Whistler, Winnipeg, Ottawa. I think a local one or something. But yeah, it was just I think pretty fortunate that my parents were able to let me do that and just go on those certain type of trips, and you're just kind of exposed to a different type of like hockey game, and
yeah,
just the scenery of things just that's out there. And I think you kind of see it now with especially over here. We're kind of adopting that American model where it's a lot of like private schools and things. It's
yeah,
not really there. People are kind of getting away from the youth hockey, and it's tough because it's expensive, but I mean, you kind of see just how good the players are getting, and I think that's a key contributor. So I would say, yeah, definitely a priority. But I would have been about 12, 11 or 12 when it was really starting to get pretty serious, and then of course you get to Bantam, and it's all the talk of the Bantam draft and things like
yeah.
that. So that was, I would say, the in and around that age range, 12 to 14.
Yeah, those are definitely some good memories, and like especially like as you look at youth hockey players now, like especially like with the private schools and all that, like the competition just gets better and better every single year, just like any other league.
Yeah, I've always liked how the American system kind of was, and the way they develop their players. And I've always thought that's kind of the way we should go. And I
Yeah,
mean, we are now, and I think a lot of people thought the same way. It just makes a lot of sense when you're playing and developing with the same kids over a certain period of time. I think it helps, and just really having those resources of having like a certain skill coach, or some have maybe they got nutritionists
yeah.
and things like that. So you learn at a younger age, which I think is good. And I mean, whether they make it far or not, they have those type of skills for the rest of their life. And so yeah, I think it's a big thing.
Yeah, exactly. Not you can't really beat that. Even if you don't make it far, you still have those resources, you still have those skills. You all use it to better yourself in life or whatever capacity that is.
No, I'm a big advocate for just, I mean, eating the right way. I mean, obviously you're
Yeah,
gonna have those fun times, and like just working out, whatever it is for you, whatever you find fun, because you don't want to get to that certain age where you just develop all these problems. I mean, I like to golf. I like to do a lot of other things. So if I couldn't do that, I mean,
yeah,
life would be pretty hard. And I think there's a lot of guys I know too that, they're not playing anymore. And, you still like to get out, strap it on with the fellas, and just have fun. So as long as you're doing the right things to help mitigate the age a little bit, then you can always kind of live a full life.
yeah. Absolutely. Just gotta buzz around with the fellas, even if they're just friends. Like, just gotta go buzz around with them, no
Oh,
matter where they're playing.
yeah, nothing better than just hanging out with the boys, whatever it is, whatever you're doing. It's that's as long as you're with the right people.
Yeah, exactly. But then after your youth hockey career came to a close, you went on to junior hockey where, like you said, you were a bit of a suitcase. So like what was your junior hockey experience like overall?
Yeah, it was good for me. I think playing in Melville really, I would say, was my first kind of start to junior. I played with the Blades that year as well. The team, we weren't very good. They just came off the Mem Cup, so lost a lot of pieces, but loved the city. I think it was one of the better cities in Canada, Saskatoon and Regina. Those two, and they're nice. But oh yeah, just going to Melville, it was a small town. We were a good team. We won the division. Got to experience playoffs in junior for the first time. So I'll always kind of remember that city and just the town. I loved it there. It was good. And yeah, like I said, a bit of a suitcase there. Kind of that year was back and forth between Saskatoon and Melville, and actually was able to finish the year in Red Deer, so was able to kind of see their playoffs. I think, yeah, they lost in the first round to Medicine Hat, but just to be there, to see the environment and the facility, I think it helped me for next year when we did have the Mem Cup. So yeah, I'll never kind of forget that season as well. It was really fun. It was actually yeah, it was the 1 year where I stayed put, so that was good. And 20-year-old year was a bit of a bounce around, but getting to go to, I was only in West Kelowna for 2 games or whatever it was. It was like I showed up, played 2 games, and then ended up going to Quebec, so it was pretty quick. But Kelowna's beautiful, and then just kind of experiencing basically a different country within the country. No one spoke any English. It was my billet parents. I would have to just speak to the daughter because the two like they didn't speak any English, the mom or dad, so it was kind of funny. And it snowed. I remember they gave me like a rental car, and it snowed like 10 feet one night. Apparently in Baie-Comeau, you just because of the St. Lawrence, you get so much snow there. So it was wasn't mad about leaving there and finishing in
Yeah.
Calgary just because of the weather, but yeah, the fans out in Quebec, they got lots of passion. So definitely good memories, and yeah, a lot of travel for sure. So battle tested.
Oh yeah, for sure. But at least you got to travel. Like I'm sure like all the places you were, like you said, were amazing. Like of course they have their good and their bad, but like just to be able to travel through the sport of hockey and through playing juniors, like they're like you just meet a lot of cool people, get a lot of cool experiences as well. So it all just helps you learn at the end of the day of just like from the different experiences to take in your life, like maybe like into college hockey, into pro, and then after your professional career.
Yeah, I think it definitely helped. With some time management, I think you kind of realize in junior how much time you really have. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, going to university, it wasn't that much of a transition. Just the practice times are in later than earlier, just to fit everyone's school schedule. But yeah, I think those type of skills that you learn are so valuable. And yeah, just seeing different cultures, being able to travel just from hockey, it's yeah, something that I think we're all pretty lucky to get. And you look back and you're always going to have those memories, and it's pretty fun. We actually at Waterloo, we our coach, he was really smart the way he went about it. If you play 5 years there, then at least one of the years you'll be able to go to Europe. So we actually were able to go to Italy, Germany, and Switzerland, and we played some pro teams over there. So really, like, it was pretty cool. And just the fact that the coach actually, I'm sure it was a lot of planning and effort for him to deal with
Yeah.
that stuff, but we had a great alumni that contribute and help us out. So yeah, the travel is a big piece. Everyone says they want to travel, and sports are a way to do it.
Exactly. It's like going into like junior hockey and into the games. Like, what were some of the biggest things you learned playing like all throughout your junior hockey career? Like some of the biggest takeaways you took away.
um I think the biggest thing I remember, when you first start out, because you start to realize like how much of a business it is in junior and
Yeah.
things like that, just to not care. I think is a big thing. You go in, I think especially in the Western League, I was, you get a little bit nervous, a little bit stressed just because you think it's something bigger than it is. But at the end of the day, it really just is a game. And I think as goalies know, it's just doesn't matter who's shooting the puck, you're just supposed to stop the puck. So that's really the big thing that I kind of took away and took with me into university, and just don't take it so serious. At the end of the day, you're doing something that's pretty fun, pretty cool. So just that really just it all comes down to breathing. Ended up working with a sports psych, well, mainly just a performance coach. And yeah, that was really just the big thing. It's kind of just scrapped most of the pregame routine and just started to have more fun, and just, I mean, you're there for 2 hours, might as well, or before the game, you might as well do something fun. So, just don't be afraid to get into the sewer ball games. Don't be afraid to just chill and maybe just sip on a coffee, watch video of what the other guys are gonna just little things like that before you go out, just so you're not so worked up. And I mean, the game's at 7 and you're up at 8:30 lots of times, so just let it go.
Yeah, just be light and just have fun with it, because you're playing the game, you're playing something you love, and you're experiencing a lot of different things. So just go out there and have fun. And if you look at the job description of a goalie, it's pretty simple, but like when you add everything else, like your job is still to stop the puck.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. So easier said than done, right? So
Yeah,
that's funny.
exactly.
Mhm.
So definitely harder than it seems. But like, what were some of your favorite places that you played in juniors?
I would say my favorite would have been, I mean, Red Deer. My dad was from Red Deer, so just having that opportunity to, I mean, it's only like an hour and a half from where I'm in Sherwood Park as well. So I would always have a lot of family at the game. I think just playing in front of them made it that much more special. And yeah, and then I finished in Calgary, not just a little bit further down south. Just, I mean, you're playing in the Saddle Dome, you get to interact with the Flames lots. So I always thought that was pretty cool, and just kind of really immersing yourself in what an NHLer kind of does. I think helps with the mindset. And yeah, like I said, I loved Melville too. It was a small town in Saskatchewan, but I think that's kind of that's that junior experience. I think that's what everyone should go through. I don't think I mean, wherever you play, it's going to be great, but I think it's always kind of fun to have that small town where you're really beloved by the town.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've heard that the most rowdiest places is to play in the small town rinks and small towns, and like the fan bases there are nothing short than just incredible. And you're just getting like you could be getting chirped if you're an away team, or like the fans will love you.
Yeah, it's definitely helps with the mental aspect when you're on the road
Yeah,
in some of those places. We played Nipawin, the Nipawin Hawks in the first round, and we lost in 6. But yeah, I just remember playing in their arena. It's because it's just so small, and it's the fans are only on the one side, and it just goes up, and it gets loud in there. It's so small. The boards they're old, so like anything that hits it, it's so loud. And guys always say too, when you get hit against the wall, it's just like going into a semi truck. It was just so hard. But a lot of those like small towns, they're pretty cool. And you want to always just bring your best too for
yeah.
those ones, because they're coming out, they're supporting, you got the boosters there, so it makes things a little bit more special.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely fun places to play. So you worked your way up throughout the junior ranks, from the SJHL to the BCHL to the Dub to the WHL. So like what was it like going throughout all those leagues, and like the differences, and then like the transition period between leagues?
Um, oh, good question. I think really the biggest thing, I think everyone will kind of attest to it, is it's the speed kind of moving up. I think the younger players in the Western League, they're better, and like, so it's just every line can play. I mean, the older guys, they're essentially men. So it's I mean, I was there when I was 18, so I was kind of I was in between. but some of the 16-year-olds I thought were like 20 years old. So I think just the development of some of the players is a lot different. I had a really good goalie coach in Dustin Schwartz. He's with the Oilers now. So him just preparing me for that level. He played in Medicine Hat, so he knew what it took to get there. He played at U Sport, and he was obviously coaching with the Oilers. Before that, he was with the Oil Kings. So I think really just kind of having a good goalie coach, a good mentor, to help you get there. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's really all up in your head too. If you work hard, you do the work, and you kind of really plan everything out, then yeah, it's sky's the limit. You can get there and achieve it, and you can succeed there too.
Yeah, exactly. I love that answer. And like, there's all these good memories from going up all these different leagues and playing in these different leagues. So like, what was like the top moment from your junior career that you could remember by not even thinking?
I would say watching the Memorial Cup, like first game was against London. I think we took a penalty, like as the host, you're the first team to play, and we played London, who ended up winning. And just I think we took a penalty 2 minutes in, and it just went to Christian Dvorak, up to Ulevy, down to Kachuk, in front to Marner for a one-timer, and it was the fastest thing I've ever seen, and it just went. It was 2 minutes in, we're down 1-0. So it was that I'll never just the pace that those guys played at. It was. And just the spectacle that is the Memorial Cup, that was pretty special. And one in Calgary, we played at it was 11 a.m. or 12 or something like that. And it was just a kids game. Like every school from the district came, so it's a sellout crowd at like 11 a.m. You're getting up at 7. I remember just being so tired, and yeah, we won in a shootout 4-3. I think any goalie will tell you, winning in a shootout, when you make the save at the end, it's one of the best feelings. That doesn't happen often, but that was a big one for sure. Those two stand out pretty big.
Yeah, definitely probably a big celebration after that shootout save, right?
Oh yeah, you always got to get something going. Fist pump. I know some guys like to sweep the ice, but I never. I was always afraid I'd fall or something like that, so I never did that.
Yeah, better be safe than sorry.
Yeah, you can't get caught hot dogging too much.
Yeah, absolutely not. But then your junior career comes to a close where you have been to a lot of different places, and you bet you were successful in all the places you played, and then you go into youth sports and college hockey. So like, what was the process like to commit to University of Waterloo?
I mean, it was pretty easy. I think it was just the best spot for me to go. Didn't necessarily want to stay out west. There were some other options in Calgary and in Lethbridge, but I'd already been kind of to those places, and I just wanted to experience another part of Canada. And I'm really happy that I did. The recruiting process was a lot of fun. My mom and I went down, saw the facility, met the coach, a lot of staff members, and we ended up going to a Jays game. So I think just being out east and kind of seeing just how they live out there and how much different it is. It was just something I really wanted to do, and was fortunate enough. My brother came out with me. He played actually at the University of Las Vegas, and we didn't have a third goalie at the time. It was just me and one of the fifth years. And I told the coach, I was like, my brother, like, he's got these credentials, this and that, like, so just having him on a team with me too, and he could practice whenever. I always thought that was pretty special. We never played together, so pretty easy process to go over there, just because of all the things that were going into it. So I had a lot of fun out there, and yeah, it's a special time going out to U Sport and university. I recommend anyone do it that they can.
Yeah, it just seems like a great opportunity to go play some college hockey and youth sports, and you're always facing good competition there, and everyone seems to be a powerhouse up there.
Yeah, I think it was pretty cool just to have a team with guys that you kind of stay. There was no trades, so it was a little bit more inclusive and things like that. So you're staying with the same guys, and we did a lot of cool stuff. I mean, we would go, like I said, we went to Europe my third year. every year too. We went to Michigan, Vermont, and Ferris State to play just some exhibition games against those NCAA teams, and just, I mean, we're doing quite well against them, and we're, you know, we're maybe not taking it serious. We went to where did we go? Went to the Big House. They were playing Maryland, so we went to the Michigan football game, and then we played the hockey game the next day. So just being able to travel. I mean, every team they do it. They go down to the States, they'll play those teams, and so you really get to. It's pretty cool to experience. You know, just to see the NCAA and kind of what, and just to compare the level that it is, and yeah, it's all good hockey. It's always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, what was like that transition period going from junior hockey in the WHL to going to U Sports?
It was, yeah, it was a little bit different. I think, you know, guys are older, they're a little bit more experienced. So I think the first year I struggled. I was coming off an ankle injury, so wasn't really able to do much during the summer. Just kind of, you know, just train what I could.
Yeah.
Didn't get on the ice until like the end of the summer. So just, you know, you forget how much you've lost. Really, you think you can play and you can do what you were doing before, but it really does take a good summer. So I think my second year was a lot better, and third year just got progressively better. So like I said earlier, it's just development. I think goalies take a long time to develop. So really learning the ins and outs, and having those experiences, the ups and downs, are a big key to making sure that you can succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. And like those are the base experiences that you do go through, is just that transition period and just seeing where like you fit in through from the team, and just to see what you have to do to get to that next level to be successful throughout that year.
Yeah, and like with university as well, there's, like I said, there's no trades. If you're not doing
No.
well, and or maybe you're not getting the opportunities, well, you got to find a way to get those opportunities, because
Yeah.
you're there. It's not like NCAA where you can go through the portal or anything like that, and there's a lot of movement. But so just kind of having that perseverance and determination to get focused, so you can get in the net as much as possible.
Yeah, so your first 3 years at University of Waterloo, you got a really good opportunity to play. You played 13 games your first year, 16 games your second year, and then 17 games your third year. So like what was it about getting that opportunity and just being able to develop your game to potentially get to that pro level?
Well, I think in university you get a lot of like practice time. You only play those 2 games, and you only play like 26, like plus exhibition, things like that. So like 30, 32, 36, somewhere around there. But so a lot of practice time. I think we had, you know, a good goalie coach there too. Matt McGahee, he was always there working with us. I really enjoyed working with him. Just kept, yeah, like I said, just kept things light, help you kind of not take things so serious, because it's almost like football where you work all week, and then you get that one chance, that one game to kind of showcase. So I think that was really good, because, you know, when you get to that pro level, that those ranks, you only get that kind of one opportunity, as difficult as that is. And, you know, it doesn't really matter what happens. You might have the worst team in front of you, and it's your first game, and you just have to do what you can. And, you know, whether if you have a bad game or a good game, at least, you know, you did everything you could to succeed. And I think that's all you can really ask for.
So like what did you do like during practices to help get your like reps dialed in, get your habits dialed in, and just to be able to perform on that consistent basis when you were playing?
I think the big thing was every Monday was like a skill day. So just take 30 minutes and do, you know, whatever goalie specific drills that I maybe had in mind, or Maddie would have in mind, and we would go from there. And then about 30 minutes of doing stuff with the players, whatever they wanted to do. As much as it maybe sucks, they would
Yeah.
be taking one timers, or they would be doing certain things. But you know, I think when you get to certain teams, certain levels, that maybe the structure isn't as good. So you are going to see those opportunities. So just like I said, just have fun with it, and do your best to get the body in front of it, and try not to work too hard and tire yourself out. You want to make sure that the reps are good, and just just communicate that with the players too. I would
Yeah.
tell them, listen, there's 6 of you and there's 1 of me. Let's do this a little bit slower. Maybe go off both sides, and just so that they can get good quality as well. Because if I'm
Yeah.
just going through the motions, well, then they're shooting on a goalie who, it's not going to be like that in a game. So I think that was a big thing. Talking with teammates and things like that, seeing what they see in practice, what maybe I think they should maybe just. I think when you have good relationships with teammates and your buddies and your friends, you really can have those open conversations. And before practice, just get a couple shooters and do some things that you want to do, because I mean there's guys that are out there that are willing to do it. I think they want to just get better just as much as you do. So
Yeah.
just like I said, just really talking to people and getting as much feedback as you can. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, just good communication, and that goes a long way, especially with your team, and just especially if you're helping them as well, and being like, if you do this differently, maybe you could score more goals or something like that, as well as like when you ask them like, what do you see, and when you're about to shoot or look for a pass option, like what, like just that communication like helps everyone, and whether it be goaltenders, forwards, defensemen, just helps everyone.
Yeah, everyone wants to get better, whether it's just a little bit every time, no matter what it is. Like you said, we're talking about with gear. You always, oh, how do you put your gear like
Yeah.
this? How do you do this? So I'm asking players, oh, where would you do this on this? And you just like it's just fun talking shop with the guys and seeing
Yeah.
what you can do differently. And because I think it, like you said, it does go a long way when you're just talking to them. You're just more of a cohesive group at the end of the day, and that's if you look at all the teams that win, that's really what it is. It's having that open and honest communication where it's done the right way. There, feelings aren't getting hurt. It's all done in a professional manner, and that's how you get to the end goal.
Yeah, exactly. But then your third year, you were also talking about how you guys went overseas and played over in Europe with, and that was a cool experience. So what was that experience like, and just being able to see a different side of hockey with playing against professional teams over in Europe?
Yeah, we played. Our first game was in Italy, so that was the just the Italian, like the top Italian league, and it was in Brighton, so it was up in the Alps there. Uh, like an older building, kind of like wood type style, kind of like what you see on the TV sometimes. So, yeah, just I think the pace of play is a lot different. It's a lot wider. Um, and you're playing against professionals. This is their job.
Yeah.
They're out there to beat you and to beat you like beat you up real hard too.
Yeah.
They don't want to get embarrassed or anything like that. So they were good games. They were tough games. The one in Germany was one of the more fun ones just because of the crowd that they had on hand. And it was Freiburg. We got to tour the city, go for a walk, which I think helps. You get out of the hotel, move the legs a little bit, go for a nap, and then go into the game. I think they have. I think it was about 5,000 can hold it, and they had about 2,500. So
Wow.
they just didn't have the back, but they love their hockey there, and then we played in Switzerland in the last game against the second team in the Zougs team. But we played out of the big stadium, and it was like Rogers Place in Edmonton. It was a NHL facility. Like it was pretty crazy to see. And you always hear too how good the Swiss league is, but just to kind of see. And I think the main team they were practicing before, and then we ended up playing the second team, and they were good. They were younger, and they were the kids that were pretty much they're looking to move up, and
Yeah.
it's like the minors almost for them. But that was good. And then we actually that was the one game we won. We won 4-3 in a shootout. Same type thing. My brother actually started the first half, and I played the second half. So it was pretty cool to
Yeah.
kind of share that win with my brother.
Yeah, and like it's such a cool experience to go, not only just to have your brother be there and like have him start the first half and then you finish it out, but just to like experience it against like a pro team overseas. Like I know. I think this past season, like University of Calgary, I believe the Dinos played against the Wranglers in the American League in like an exhibition. So just to get like that experience of what it takes to get to that professional level and to play at those pro levels is like is very valuable like experiences.
Yeah, a lot of guys are right there. It just comes down to certain timing
Yeah.
and things like that. I'm sure everyone kind of knows, but I think as long as you're doing everything you can and you put all that work in, then it's at the end of the day, you just don't want to have any regrets. That's the biggest thing. So, though that was pretty cool to see that. Yeah, I know. I think Nate and Grant McEwen, they formed like an all-star team and they play the Oilers, like for the last game of the
Yeah.
whatever camp it is. So yeah, that I always like that too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Good experiences for everyone. And talking about like good experiences, like after your fourth year, your senior year at University of Waterloo, you got to spend some time in the SPHL with the Birmingham Bulls and the Knoxville Ice Bears throughout that time. So like what was that experience like, and just seeing like that professional level from like your point of view as actually being on a professional team?
Mm. Yeah, it was a bit different just because it was the COVID year,
Yeah.
so there was a lot of rules and things like that. So I think, maybe not getting to experience the full pro kind of lifestyle and things like that, but it was still really good to see. I think coming from the Western League and I mean it's essentially pro hockey. You're playing 72 games. You get treated, really well. So I think that prepared me pretty well just to kind of see what that was like. And I didn't get any games, but just to be on the team and to practice and to see those things, it was good for me. Just, I mean, you weren't allowed to do very much in Canada, so I was pretty lucky and fortunate to
Yeah.
be down there for a couple of months just to be on the ice. And even though the ice down south, it wasn't great. It was, it's so hot down there, but
Yeah.
anytime you can get out there and just kind of stay in that game shape, and that's really all I could ask for.
Yeah, so you got that foot in the door of pro hockey, and then you end up going back to U Sports in the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology in the ACAC. So like what made that decision to go back into U Sports into college hockey?
Well, I wanted to go back to maybe like University of Calgary or MRU's, but because I was on the SPHL rosters for those games, I had to redshirt, so I couldn't go back to Waterloo. I couldn't go to U, so I had to go to the ACAC, and yeah, I just kind of got lucky that a goalie quit and I got a phone call. I still wanted to play. I didn't necessarily want to go to the federal league right away or anything like that. I wanted to take a couple different financing courses, things like that, just to kind of further develop my
Yeah.
schooling. So, and COVID was still kind of a factor, especially in Canada. So it was kind of a bit of working through that process as well. So I think yeah, just kind of getting those courses was a big thing for me.
Yeah, you another year to develop your game as well as like working on stuff that you're gonna probably do post hockey and like even during your hockey career.
Yeah, exactly. I love dealing with money and finance. I think I mean, everyone deals with it
Yeah.
in some different aspects. So just being able to help people and educate them on how they can kind of really just, I mean, it's funny to talk about now how young we are, but
Yeah.
retirement's going to come sooner than later. So
Oh yeah.
it's fun to show people, what it takes to get there and, how close they really are. Because I mean, it's the small steps. I mean, it's like in anything, those baby steps to that quantum leap get you pretty far. So if you're consistently doing the right things and in whatever it is, it's going to pay off in the long run.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there. And so you just finished your first full year of professional hockey with the Delaware Thunder in the Federal Prospects Hockey League, the Macon Mayhem in the Southern Professional Hockey League, and you also got a cup of coffee with the Reading Royals
Mhm.
in the ECHL, the East Coast Hockey League. So like what was your first official pro year of hockey like?
Uh, it was good. I liked kind of just going back to that. It like junior, you kind of have that certain kind of time. There's really no school, so during that year, I was just to kind of keep my mind busy. I was getting my life insurance license to deal with insurance and investments. It's like everyone knows, there's a lot of time off. So
Yeah.
I think it's important to keep the mind fresh and do something. Yeah, I think Reading was really cool. That Philadelphia is a good system. I think they treat everyone really well down there. Would have been nice to get into a game, but that's just not how it went. But still really appreciative of it. It was really cool, and yeah, Macon. The weather was good there. You get to golf, get away from hockey a little bit. So just kind of being in a different climate, I thought that was pretty cool. And in Delaware, the one trainer we had, he was unreal. I would go there, because you only play on the weekends, so just keeping the body as fresh as you can. That was a big thing. So, Mike out trained. So it was he was a big part in my development this year off the ice for sure. He's a really smart guy and just really great facilities. And I think that was a big thing. If you're gonna kind of go through that long grind of the pro season, you got to make sure that you're staying on top of the off ice stuff. Even though it might not be as fun for some people, I think you got to try to make it fun and get some time in. So I think that was a big thing.
Yeah, it's like what some of like the biggest things you learned this year, especially going through like those ups and downs of the season when like your team may not be winning, or like you're going through like a rough stretch where you're getting a ton of shots. Like what are you or like what's going on through your mind throughout those like up and down moments?
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's so cliche, but it's control what you can control.
Yeah.
I mean, you really don't know how many shots you're going to get, what type of quality they're at the end of the day. You might have an idea, but I think if you just do those consistent things and find some kind of control. So structure your week out, plan it out, know what you're going to do, know how you're going to prepare the best that you can. And that's all you can do, because at the end of the day, yeah, like you said, our job is just to stop the puck. That's the job description. We're not scoring goals. I guess actually some guys were this year. There was a lot of goalie goals, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. But yeah, whether you win or lose, really just evaluate your game on how you prepared, how you think you played, and kind of just break it down from there. I think that was a big thing for me back in junior too. When you're younger, you think you need wins and things like that, but it really doesn't matter. If you're playing well, then yeah, the wins will come. The good games happen, and that's just kind of what you have to constantly remind yourself, that the good things are coming if you're doing the right things.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. And like even like throughout my season, like facing a lot of shots and everything, just giving the boys a chance to win. Like that's all. Like especially with like certain situations that happen, you just gotta go with the mindset of just give the boys a chance to win, and the rest is gonna do its work.
Yeah, and I think there's when you're getting a lot of shots, a lot of high quality chances. I mean, chances are you're probably going to let in a decent amount here and
Yeah.
there, but those times when you do have those really good games, and you have 40 shots and 2 goals against or something like that or more, it's so those are the games that you really remember and try to hold in your mind, and because hey, that could happen every night. You never know. So it's yeah, it's always fun, and like you said, that's all you can do is just give them a chance and do your best out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like what were your emotions when you got that first pro win under your belt, and like what was the feeling like?
It was definitely a relief. You feel really
Yeah.
good. Just something to check off the goals list. Everyone wants to win and succeed. And I think that was a big one for sure. It's one you'll never forget, and then also too, you just kind of move on, and it's almost like you've won games before. Just because it's at a different level, it doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
I think even guys, once you win in the NHL, it's great for a bit, and then it just becomes normal. So just really normalizing it and going through it just so you can get back and try to win another one.
Yeah, so like what was the transit, or what did you learn from your time going to the Fed, to the SB, to the coast, and like what were some of the takeaways that you took away from each league?
I think just how detailed it is when you move up. I
Yeah.
think it's the way it was in Reading was a lot how it was in Red Deer and in Calgary. I mean, the coaches we had Brent Sutter, NHL coach. We had Mark French, who was, he's an AHL, coaches in the Swiss League now, but you really just see kind of the detail and what goes into games. Because you want to get that slight edge, whatever you can do to help the team win and do everything. That's what it is. So there's a lot more structure. I think that's really the biggest thing that you kind of learn, and it's faster, but it's also easier in a sense because there is that structure in place. So that is a big thing for sure.
Yeah, just gotta keep everything simple. Just don't overthink, and just have fun and let stay loose a little bit, and just enjoy it. Enjoy every game, enjoy every practice, every moment.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't you only get to do it for so long. Enjoy it as long as you can, and even when you're done, you still got to try to find ways to enjoy it. Do whatever you can. It's a great sport. I say sports in general are so fun, and anytime you can get out and experience that euphoric state, it's something special.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are you looking forward into going into year 2 of professional hockey?
I think just you got that first year under your belt, so you can kind of use those, like you said, use those experiences to be better for it. You know certain cities, certain arenas. It's just all about comfortability. So developing, having those experiences, I think it's a big thing for sure. And you're kind of almost established in a sense. You're not kind of tiptoeing around, seeing what's going on. It's just a little bit easier in that sense with being comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I want to wish you the best of luck going forward with how next season is going to go for you. And I have a few more questions before we wrap things up here from our viewer Q&A question that I put up on Instagram. So you want to get into it?
Yeah, sure. Perfect.
So, all right, sweet. So the first one is like, what are some tips you'd give players looking to get to that next level?
I would say the thing that gets overlooked the most when I goalie coach people, it's training your eyes. I think I was pretty fortunate. My uncle's an eye doctor, so he works with the Oilers, the Elks, and like football team here. So just a lot of the pro teams. It's pretty tedious. It's not very fun, but I mean it's still a muscle. It's something you obviously need to develop if you're a goalie. So reach out to a sports optometrist. Not just an optometrist. You want a sports specific one, just to see what kind of exercises you can do. I mean, even if you're just doing, it's called the Brock string. So it's just a piece of string with 5 beads attached, just to help on bringing your eyes together and converging. So, I mean, if you're doing that, I think you're already ahead of most goalies, because most guys, they're just going out to see shots at the local rink, or they're maybe doing ball drills. But I think really kind of changing it up a little bit and working on your vision's a key component.
Yeah, it's a great tip. It's so underlooked, but like once your eyes are dialed in on that puck with tracking, like everything just becomes so much more slower and easier.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and with that, it's a lot of breathing. Like that's one big thing where when the play's at the other end, just breathe. When you're relaxed and your shoulders are down and you just, like you said, you're more loose, obviously your eyes are going to be working more in unison as well.
Yeah, exactly. But the next question is, what's your favorite hockey memory?
I would say that one in Europe when we won against the Swiss team when I was with my brother. That was pretty special. And just watching the first half and seeing him perform, and then knowing that I had to perform, and you get more like, I can't let my older brother show me up. Just the fact that we won, and you're in Europe, we're with the fellas, just to go back and have a good time at the hotel as well. That's one I'll never forget.
Yeah, that's a good memory to have, and especially with your brother for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next one is, how are you spending your summer?
Summer, I train whenever I can. So either morning, evening, 4 or 5 times a week. Just like I said, with that program that my trainer gives me. And I am doing financial advising as well. So helping people with investments, insurance, and mortgages, things like that. Like I said, getting people, ready for retirement and stuff like that. I still like goalie coaching, golf, big one. And my little cousin, he actually he plays baseball, so I haven't gone out to see him yet, but I want to go see him. He's a good little player. So and I'm outside, so that's a bonus.
Yeah, just keeping yourself busy.
Yeah, that's especially in the summers. It's skating's only 3-4 times a week, kind of when you
Yeah.
get down the line. But so yeah, you gotta keep it busy, and it's good. It's a good transition too for life after.
Yeah, absolutely. But the next question is, how do you maintain your composure when you get run?
uh, I just knowing that we're gonna get a power play and hopefully we can score on it. I think
Yeah.
I've never been one to flip out too much. I always just laugh when I got hit or something or whatever. I never really cared because I just knew that that's what the players are told to do, and that's kind of part of the job. It was like being a catcher in baseball. They
Yeah.
know they're gonna get run, and you just gotta hold on to the ball and keep your position. So same thing, you gotta hold your position and make sure the puck stays out, and hopefully, you're getting a power play out of it as well. So that's probably the big one.
Yeah, power play goal after your goalie gets run. Like that's probably one of the best feelings as a goalie is your team's got your back and you guys are back in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good one for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then the last one is apparently you're too scared to show the world that you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. What do you have to say to that?
No way. That I think I know who sent that too. That's probably Jordan. He would have been a trainer for State. I think that's him. He's a big Cowboy fan. I think he's just jealous that he's not a Buffalo Bills fan like myself. So, and he knows that the Bills are gonna win a Super Bowl here shortly, and I think the Cowboys are in tough. I don't know what they're doing. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know about that with the Cowboys. Cowboys are definitely in it for one for sure.
yeah. I think the Bears are in better shape than the Cowboys.
I guess we can say that for sure. But
Yeah.
that I think that's a great way to cap this episode off. But Trevor, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time, and I want to wish you the best of luck going forward in next season.
Oh, thank you. It was great to be on and great to talk a little bit and to get to know you. So thank you very much. And yeah, keep it up. Love the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.